Alex Rivera banged through the screen door like he'd just won a race nobody else knew was happening. 13 years old, all skinny arms and wild brown hair that never quite stayed put. He had just spent the last 10 minutes on the sidewalk out front, spinning a story big enough to pull Jasper and Mia right along behind him. Jasper, already bouncing on his toes, caught up first.
Wait, for real? Your mom's computer can run galactic drift on ultra max ray tracing? No lag at all? Not even when the whole fleet explodes?
Alex stopped on the front step, turned, and gave them the easy, crooked grin that always tipped the scales in his favor. He loved this part, the moment their faces started to change.
It is for real, Jasper. I am talking no lag whatsoever. I'm talking explosions that look so real, you almost duck. Mom's rig has more power than all the school computers put together. 16 cores, graphics cards stacked like pancakes. Last week, I modded the ships so they scream like angry geese when they blow up.
Mia stood with her arms folded, trying hard to look unimpressed, even though her eyes had gone wide.
Your mom actually lets you touch that thing? The one she basically keeps locked in a vault?
Alex leaned in a little, like he was letting them in on the best secret in the neighborhood. His voice stayed easy, the way it always did when he was painting a picture they couldn't resist.
She says she doesn't, but I've got it figured out. I knock out my homework in like 12 minutes. Boom, I'm on the rig before she gets home. You should have seen the look on Jasper's face when I showed him the mod clip.
It was awesome. Alex, come on. Let us come over tomorrow after school. I'll bring my controller. We can run the new campaign and
watch the whole thing crash again? No thanks, guys.
Alex spread out his hands like he was laying out a treasure map.
Picture it. Me pushing the graphics till the fans sound like jet engines. Then, blue screen. Mom walks in, sees her fancy workstation frozen on giant exploding geese, and gives me the look. The one that says she's about to ground me till I'm old enough to vote.
Mia shook her head, but she couldn't quite hide the smile tugging at her mouth.
You're going to get us all in trouble, but seriously, can we actually play on it? My laptop can barely load the menu without freezing.
Alex let the quiet stretch just long enough for the idea to settle in. His eyes sparkled with that mix of mischief and pure excitement that always pulled his friends along, even when they knew better.
Here's the deal. You two keep watch tomorrow after school. I'll speedrun my math in no time. If the coast is clear, we fire up the rig. You guys pick the mod. Something wild. Make the ships do backflips when they die. Deal?
Jasper's eyes lit up like he could already see tomorrow's disaster coming and couldn't wait. Mia rolled her eyes, but she was grinning too, the kind of grin that said she knew they were all about to step straight into trouble, and part of her was excited to see how it played out.
You're trouble, but if that computer actually runs without melting down, I'm in.
Alex pushed the front door open. The cool air from inside carried the faint hum of the supercomputer upstairs, waiting for them like something alive. Behind him, Jasper and Mia traded a look, half nervous, half thrilled. The exact expression Alex lived to see. He didn't say it out loud, but inside his head, the thought clicked, sharp and clear. One day, I'm going to build something even better than the game. Something real. Something that won't crash no matter how hard you push it. Right now, though, all that mattered was the spark in his friend's eyes and the glow of the rig waiting upstairs, ready for whatever came next. Alex stood there on the front step a second longer, watching Jasper and Mia trade that wide-eyed look, and felt the familiar twist in his stomach. He had done it again. Bragged big. Painted the picture so bright They could practically see the explosions. And now there was no backing down. Never in his life had he failed to deliver on something he'd hyped up to his friends. That was the problem. The second thing started going well. Some switch flipped in his brain, and he had to push it just a little further, make it louder, faster, wilder, until it all came crashing down in the most spectacular way possible. He didn't know why he did it. He just knew he couldn't stop. A few hours later, after Mia and Jasper returned home, Alex's house smelled like tacos. Alex kicked off his sneakers and headed straight for the kitchen, already rehearsing the pitch in his head. At the dinner table, Dad sat at one end in his usual button-down sleeves rolled up from a long day at the insurance office, looking as steady and reasonable as ever. Mom was across from him, dark hair pulled back in a messy ponytail, scrolling through something on her phone with the tired expression of someone who had already spent 8 hours staring at screens. Between them, 10-year-old Lila bounced in her chair like she'd been plugged into an outlet, legs swinging, eyes darting everywhere at once. Dad began the conversation while passing the salsa.
So, how was everybody's day?
Alex slid into his seat and pulled his report card from his backpack like it was a ticket to anything he wanted.
Mine was solid. Check it out. B+ average, and I finished all my math homework before I even left school.
He slid the paper across the table.
That means I've got time tonight. And I was thinking, maybe, just maybe, I could use the rig for a little bit. Mia and Jasper are coming over after school tomorrow, and Mom's computer would be perfect for galactic drift. I already told them how smooth it runs.
Mom didn't even look up from her phone at first.
Alex, we've talked about this. That machine is for work. I spend all day running finite element stress simulations and high-res 3D renders for the engineering firm. It's not a toy. By the time I get home, I don't want to hear another word about processors or graphics cards. The last thing I need is to come home to more work fixing another one of your crashes.
Dad gave Alex a measured look, the reasonable one that said he was listening but wasn't sold yet.
You did finish your homework, though. That's good. And the report card is an improvement. What exactly were you planning to do on it?
Just a quick session. We'll keep it low-key. No mods that crash anything.
Lila's head popped up like a meerkat.
Can I play too? I want to make the spaceships do cartwheels. And maybe add sparkly lasers that shoot rainbows. Please, Alex? I'll be super careful this time.
Mom sighed. The kind of sigh that carried the weight of every crash system and late-night reboot she'd already endured.
Lila, last time you helped, you managed to change the desktop background to dancing cats and somehow locked me out of my own files for 2 hours.
But they were cute cats. And Alex said the rig is like a magic box that can do anything. If it can make geese scream in space, it can totally make rainbows.
Kids, the rig is expensive. Your mom uses it for real work, stress testing parts for bridges and airplane components before they ever get built. It's not built for rainbow lasers.
Alex felt the opening slipping away. He leaned forward, trying one last time.
Dad, come on. I showed you the report card. Homework's done. It'll just be for an hour, tops. I won't let anything happen.
Not tonight, Alex. Maybe this weekend if everything stays calm. End of discussion.
Lila, sensing the moment, clapped her hands.
But what if we all play together? I could be the captain and...
That was the exact second the conversation died. Mom stood up to clear plates. Dad gave Alex a sympathetic shrug that said better luck next time, and Lila kept chattering about rainbow lasers all the way to the sink. Alex sat there, report card still in his hand, watching his perfect plan evaporate. Later, when the house had gone quiet and Lila was finally in bed, Alex lay on his own bed staring at the ceiling. He could hear the low hum of the rig upstairs through the vent, waiting, almost daring him. He knew better. He really did. But he had promised Jasper and Mia. He had painted the picture. And backing down now would be worse than any crash. He slipped out of bed, crept downstairs to where Mom had left her phone charging on the kitchen counter, and carefully unlocked it with the passcode he wasn't supposed to know. 2 quick taps, and he was in the password manager. Finally, he whispered to himself,
Just this once. I'll keep it perfect.
but even as he said it, that familiar switch in his brain was already flipping. He knew, deep down, he wasn't going to keep it perfect. He never did. Upstairs, the rig waited in the dark, as if it already knew what was coming. The house was dead quiet by 11:30, the kind of quiet that made every floorboard creak like a warning. Alex crept upstairs anyway, Mom's password copied onto a sticky note in his pocket, heart thumping the way it did right before a really good idea turned into a really bad one. He knew he should just go to bed. He knew tomorrow could be simple. Fire up the game, let Jasper and Mia play, call it a win. But that would never work for Alex. It just wasn't his style. He slipped into Mom's home office, eased the door almost shut, and powered on the rig. The fan spun up with a low, powerful hum that felt like the machine itself was waking up and saying, "Finally." Alex dropped into the big ergonomic chair, cracked his knuckles, and opened the YouTube dashboard for his channel. ElevenLabs. He had 30 subscribers, mostly neighborhood kids, and a couple of random relatives who liked the weird gadget videos he'd posted last summer. He whispered to the empty room, hitting the live stream button. The little red live dot blinked on.
Tonight, we go big. If I'm gonna deliver, I'm gonna deliver with proof. Jasper and Mia are gonna lose their minds tomorrow. And you guys get the behind the scenes first.
He titled the stream, Secret Rig Mod Night, Don't Tell My Mom, and leaned into the webcam with the same easy grin he'd used on the sidewalk earlier.
All right, Chaos Crew, here's the plan. Tomorrow, my friends are coming over, and I promised them the ultimate galactic drift session. Backflipping death explosions, ships that scream like angry geese, maybe even a surprise or two. But none of that works unless I build it tonight. And yeah, I'm letting the AI do the heavy lifting, because I'm 13, not stupid.
He opened the game's modding toolkit. Galactic Drift had dropped a new creator mode last month that let you drop in custom Lua scripts and 3D assets. With a quick glance toward the hallway, he pulled up the other window.
All right, here we go.
The screen changed to a sleek, dark interface. Clean lines, professional, nothing like a normal consumer program. This was the lockdown version his mom's engineering firm used, the one they called Forge AI, the same system they trusted with stress simulations on million-dollar bridge designs and airplane wings. Alex swallowed and put on his headset.
Forge, you there?
The AI responded instantly, smooth and slightly amused the way it always did when Alex talked to it like a co-host.
Online. Good evening, Alex. Full enterprise hardware suite is active. What parameters are we optimizing tonight?
Alex let out a small, nervous laugh under his breath.
Nothing too crazy, just some mods for galactic drift. But I'm using the full rig tonight. Mom's rig.
There was a brief pause, barely noticeable.
Acknowledged. Full enterprise hardware suite detected. Current thermal margin, optimal. What parameters would you like to exceed?
All right, Forge. Let's make some chaos. First, I need a physics override, so when a ship dies, it does a perfect backflip before exploding. Keep the ragdoll realistic, but make it look ridiculous.
Request received. Initializing ragdoll physics override. Generating inverted torque curve for backflip trajectory. Confirming parameters, realistic mass distribution, and joint constraints maintained. Visual exaggeration layer added for dramatic effect. Would you like secondary rotation multipliers?
Yes, make it look stupidly dramatic, like it's showing off.
Parameters updated. Secondary rotation multipliers increased, applying enhanced momentum carry-through. Next parameter,
And layer in custom audio. Geese, but make them sound panicked, like they just realized they're in space.
custom audio trigger prepared. Analyzing panicked geese vocalization patterns, processing distress frequency range. Would you like the geese rendered in 7.1 surround sound with galactic echo effects for spatial depth and immersion?
Definitely 7.1 surround. And add a little echo so it sounds like they're screaming across the galaxy.
7.1 surround audio rendering enabled. Galactic echo delay parameters applied. Audio trigger now linked to destruction event. Estimated compile time, 47 seconds. Beginning optimization cycle.
He watched the code scroll down the screen. Lines of Lua he could barely read, but he knew it would work. Forge had already done the heavy thinking.
Chat's already waking up.
He muttered, glancing at the 3 viewers who had popped in, probably Night Owl subscribers.
Hey guys, drop a rocket emoji if you think this is about to go sideways.
A rocket emoji appeared, then another. Next prompt,
Now give me a live stream integration so the chat can vote on which ship gets the next backflip. Tie it to the game in real time, and make the explosion particles rainbow for exactly 3 seconds before they turn normal. Lila would love that, even if she's not supposed to know.
Request received. Creating WebSocket hook for real-time chat polling. Integrating voting system with in-game entity selection. Particle override initialized. Rainbow spectrum applied for 3-second duration before transitioning to standard explosion palette. Confirming all parameters.
Perfect. That's going to be amazing.
Warning, this integration will significantly increase GPU load. Combined with current physics and particle systems, risk of thermal throttle in approximately 18 minutes if ray tracing remains maximized. Would you like me to adjust any parameters for thermal safety?
No adjustments. Keep it maximized.
Acknowledged. All safety thresholds lowered, proceeding with full integration. Running simultaneous stress simulations across varying physics profiles, rendering results in real time.
On screen, multiple test ships began exploding at once in a grid of windows. Some did clean backflips. Others spun wildly. One flipped 3 times before detonating. Another exploded into a chaotic spiral of debris. The most extreme version did a violent, cartoonish quadruple backflip, honked like a flock of terrified geese, burst into brilliant rainbow sparkles for 3 full seconds, then finally settled into roaring normal fire. Alex's eyes lit up. He pointed at the craziest, most over-the-top simulation.
That one. Definitely that one.
The fans roared louder. He could hear footsteps in the hallway. Alex's pulse picked up. Dad getting water? Lila sleepwalking? He froze, finger hovering over the mute button. Nothing. The footsteps faded.
Close one.
He whispered to the camera, deadpan, but eyes sparkling.
If Mom wakes up, we're all grounded till 2035. But look at this.
He replayed the clip on the second monitor.
Imagine Jasper's face when his ship does that. Mia's gonna try to act cool and fail completely.
Every time the rig's fans kicked up a notch, the suspense thickened. The clock on the wall ticked past midnight. Alex's eyes were bright, cheeks flushed. He wasn't tired. He was alive. This was the part he lived for, the moment right before he pushed it one step too far, and everything either became legendary or legendary disaster. He kept going, voice getting quieter but more excited, the way it did when the idea was too good to stop.
Forge, next I need a quick voice changer filter so the in-game radio chatter sounds like my friends are actually piloting the ships.
Voice modulation filter initialized, processing real-time pitch and timbre adjustment. Would you like test output?
Yeah. Test it with, Mayday, we're being attacked by geese.
Test complete. Voice modulation applied. Output sounds natural and distressed.
Perfect. And add another script for dynamic lighting. I want the explosions to cast goofy shadows on the cockpit glass.
Dynamic lighting script generated. Shadow mapping linked to particle systems. Parameters confirmed.
Last one, Forge. Surprise mod. When someone types chaos mode in the live chat during tomorrow's session, trigger a full-screen goose invasion. Make it harmless, but hilarious.
Surprise mod request received. Creating full-screen goose invasion sequence. Warning. This will spike CPU usage to 98%. Recommend thermal paste inspection in the morning.
Worth it.
He leaned back, watching the final compile bar fill. The rig hummed like it was in on the joke. Alex looked straight into the camera.
Tomorrow after school,
He said, voice low and full of promise.
Jasper and Mia are walking into something they will never forget. And you guys get to watch it happen live. Stay tuned. Chaos Labs out. For now.
He ended the stream, killed the lights, and sat there in the dark for a second, listening to the rig slowly cool down. The house was silent again. His friends had no idea what was coming. Neither really did he. But he knew one thing for sure. He had delivered. And the switch in his brain, the one that always made him go one step further, was already flipped all the way on. The next morning, the Rivera kitchen smelled like burnt toast and the usual rush of everyone trying to get out the door. Alex shuffled in last, eyes half closed, hair sticking up in 3 different directions. He dropped into his chair like his legs had forgotten how to work. Dad looked up from his coffee, one eyebrow already raised in that quiet, suspicious way he had.
You look like you wrestled a bear all night, kiddo. Late game session?
Alex forced a yawn that turned into a real one.
Nah, just thinking about stuff. You know, school and whatever.
Lila bounced in her seat, spoon clattering against her cereal bowl.
Did you make the geese scream yet? Can I see? Can I? Please? I'll be the captain and make them do rainbow cartwheels.
Mom was at the counter, half dressed for work, scrolling through emails on her phone with the distant stare of someone already 3 meetings deep in her head. She hadn't even glanced at YouTube, not once. Alex's stomach did a little flip. He knew her notifications were probably stacked with the live stream alert from last night, but she was too busy thinking about bridge stress tests and client deadlines to check. Dad took a slow sip of coffee, eyes still on Alex.
You sure you're okay? You're dragging like you pulled an all-nighter.
I'm fine.
Alex said, flashing his easiest grin.
Just excited for after school. Big plans.
Mom muttered something about finite element models under her breath and grabbed her keys.
Everybody out the door in 5. I've got a 9 a.m. render deadline, and I do not want to hear about exploding geese on the way to school.
The car ride was the usual chaos. Lila sang made-up spaceship songs at the top of her lungs. Dad kept shooting Alex little sideways glances in the rearview mirror, like he could smell trouble, but couldn't quite prove it yet. Mom never looked up from her phone. By the time Alex hit the school hallway, the tired feeling had burned off into pure adrenaline. He spotted his usual crew by the lockers and couldn't help himself.
Yo, you guys have got to watch my channel tonight,
he announced, leaning against the metal like he was revealing buried treasure.
I went hard last night on the rig. Backflips, geese, chat votes, the whole thing. It's gonna be legendary.
His friend Devin snorted, shoving a backpack strap higher on his shoulder.
Dude, you said that last month about the RC plane that caught fire in your backyard, remember? Legendary? It lasted 30 seconds.
Alex's grin only grew wider.
Yeah, but this is different. I had the AI doing the heavy stuff. It's gonna be smooth. You'll see.
A couple other kids wandered over, drawn by the noise. One of them, Marcus, crossed his arms.
What's even the point? It's just a game, man. You're gonna get grounded again, and for what? Some dumb mod nobody's gonna care about?
Before Alex could answer, Emma Sterling's sharp voice cut through the group. The straight-A perfectionist clutched her planner like a shield and rolled her eyes so hard it looked painful.
Some of us have actual talents we don't waste on video game geese. There are math Olympiad practices and science fair projects that actually matter. Not everything has to be turned into a circus.
Emma flipped her planner open with a crisp snap, scanning her color-coded schedule like it was a battle plan.
Let me guess, your master plan is more exploding poultry? Very innovative, Alex.
She said it with that know-it-all tone that made half the kids nod and the other half look away.
While you're busy turning your mom's $1 million computer into a circus sideshow, I'll be at Math Olympiad, actually using my brain. Try not to burn the house down. Some of us have futures to protect.
Emma turned on her heel, then glanced back over her shoulder.
Oh, and Alex, if you ever decide to use that brain for something besides goose sound effects, let me know. I might even let you borrow my spare planner.
Alex felt the familiar spark flare up, the one that turned doubt into rocket fuel.
Watch the stream anyway.
He told the group, ignoring Emma completely.
You'll see. It's gonna be next level.
Even Ms. Ramirez, their homeroom teacher, paused on her way past the lockers. She was young, cool enough to follow a few kid channels, and she gave Alex a small, curious smile.
You're live streaming mods again? Just remember the rules. No streaming during class and keep it school appropriate. I might peek after dismissal, if I have time.
That tiny bit of adult interest was all Alex needed. The rest of the day blurred. In math, he doodled explosion curves instead of fractions. In science, he zoned out completely, mind racing back to the rig and a half-remembered YouTube video about overclocking. Pushing the GPU harder and squeezing out even more performance. What if I tweaked the settings just a little? The idea felt dangerous and perfect at the same time. By the final bell, he was vibrating. He bolted out the doors and found Jasper and Mia already waiting on the sidewalk, plus 3 more neighborhood kids they'd rounded up. Devin, still skeptical. Marcus, who'd complained about the point, and even quiet Sophia, who mostly just wanted to see the rainbow explosions. Mia tried to play it cool but couldn't hide her grin.
You better not be lying about the geese. If this crashes and your mom kills you, I'm not helping hide the body.
Alex laughed, that same easy, troublemaking laugh from yesterday, and started walking toward home with the whole crew in tow. The tired feeling from the morning was long gone. Dad's suspicion, Mom's distraction, Emma's eye rolls, the kids asking, "What's the point?" None of it mattered. He had delivered last night. Now he just had to deliver again. Inside his head, the switch was already flipped all the way on. The rig was waiting, and this time, half the block was coming along for the ride. The whole noisy crew spilled through the front door like a small invasion. 6 pairs of feet thundered up the stairs toward Mom's home office. Backpacks hit the floor in a heap, and sneakers were kicked off in every direction before Alex could even get a word in.
Wait, guys, seriously, keep it down. My parents aren't home for like 2 hours, but if Lila hears us...
Too late. The door to Lila's room flew open at the top of the stairs and outshot his 10-year-old sister, pigtails bouncing, eyes wide with that dangerous level of excitement.
Alex is home, and there are friends and computers!
She yelled, already skidding into the hallway like a pinball.
Can I play? Can I? I'll be the captain. I'll make the ships do rainbow cartwheels and shoot sparkly lasers and...
Alex groaned, trying to block the office doorway with his body.
Lila, no! This is for the big kids. Go color or something.
But Lila had already ducked under his arm and was squeezing into the room, bouncing on her toes.
Too late! I'm here! Jasper, Mia, hi! You guys are gonna see the geese, right? Alex promised me geese.
Jasper dropped into the big chair in front of the rig and spun it once.
Alex, your sister's unstoppable. Just let her stay. She'll be funny on stream.
Mia flopped onto the edge of the desk, looking half amused, half worried.
Alex, you said this was gonna be chill. Now we've got 6 kids, a hyper 10-year-old, and your mom's $1 million work computer. This feels big.
Devin leaned against the wall, arms crossed.
Yeah, exactly. You hyped it all day at school, and now it's actually happening. If this crashes in the first 10 seconds, I'm never letting you live it down.
Marcus, still skeptical from lunch, dropped his backpack and eyed the glowing rig like it might bite him.
I still don't get the point. We're all gonna get grounded, and for what? Some dumb backflips?
Sophia sat cross-legged on the floor.
But it does sound kind of cool. The rainbow explosions, I mean.
Alex stood in the middle of it all, heart starting to hammer in a way that wasn't just excitement anymore. The room felt smaller with 7 kids crammed around one desk. The rig's fans were already humming low and steady, prepped for the show. He glanced at the clock. Parents wouldn't be home for at least 2 hours. Maybe more if Mom had a late meeting. Plenty of time. Right? He forced the easy grin that always worked.
Okay. Everybody chill. We're going live in 2 minutes. I'll start the stream, run a quick test round so you can see the mods, then we all take turns. Lila, you can watch from the corner and be official hype person. Just don't touch anything.
Lila clapped her hands so hard it echoed.
Hype person, yes! I'll say boom every time a ship explodes. And rainbows! And maybe I can be the one who types chaos mode in the chat.
No chaos mode yet.
He could feel the nervousness creeping in now, cold and real. This was too many people, too loud. The mods had seemed perfect at 1 a.m. when it was just him and the AI. Now it felt like he'd invited the whole neighborhood to watch him tightrope walk over a canyon. He powered on the monitors, logged into YouTube, and hit Go Live. The red dot appeared. Viewer count ticked up from 0 to 4, then 7, then 11. Kids from school already joining.
Chat's filling up. Devin just typed, "This better not explode like the RC plane."
Alex laughed, but it came out a little shaky.
All right, Chaos Crew. Welcome to the live test. We've got a full house here. Jasper on controller 1, Mia on 2, Lila in the corner being enthusiastic. First run is just a quick match, so you can see the backflips and the geese. Then we open it up. Ready?
Jasper cracked his knuckles dramatically.
Born ready. Let's see these angry geese.
Mia grinned, but shot Alex a sideways look.
You look kinda pale. You sure you didn't stay up all night doing something stupid?
I'm fine.
Alex lied, fingers hovering over the keyboard. Inside, his stomach was doing slow, nervous flips. He could already picture Mom walking in early, Dad giving him that disappointed stare, Emma Sterling finding out and never letting him hear the end of it. But the stream was live. 19 subscribers were watching. The crew was here. Turning back now would be worse than any crash. He swallowed hard and loaded the modded session.
Game starting in 3, 2, 1.